the gloves you wear on the trap line are probably the most important thing that you can consider, because that's your main line of defense against contamination of your sets and your traps and your equipment. So there's a lot of different options, and I'm just going to outline a few and tell you the pros and cons and my preferences. So you can go with leather. Some trappers like leather. You can also go with cloth, just some kind of cotton cloth gloves. Rubber gloves, full rubber gloves, and these would come up to, above your wrist. Or they got the the kind of cloth backed rubber palm latex or PVC coated gloves. And so these are my preference. These are my favorite, because my biggest concern, my biggest issue is I like to have a glove that fits my hand perfect. For me, any of these other gloves, I can get leather gloves that do it, but if I have any glove left at the tip of my finger, I don't like it. Plus, I feel like it leaves me more susceptible to getting caught when I'm trying to set the trap, and I've got that little bit that I can't control. So, and also the thing that I like about rubber gloves in general over the cloth or the leather gloves is that if you feel like they've gotten contaminated, you can grab you a handful of dirt, grab you some pine needles, roll them around in your hand, rub them all over, and you're kind of scent free. You're back to an even playing field. Whereas if you get your leather or cloth gloves contaminated, you're done. They need to be replaced. So I would just keep that in mind. If you're using leather or cloth gloves, if you do decide that's the way you want to go, keep you at least one extra pair with you while you're on the trap line, because if you get them contaminated, if you get some lure on them, that's you're going to need to either make those some lure gloves and go back to and put a fresh pair of gloves on so you're not contaminating your sets. But like I said, my preference is these PVC or latex coated gloves. They have the back that's breathable. That's one thing that I could say about the cloth gloves is they're going to be breathable. If you trap in the South, you're going to have days that are pretty warm on the trap line, and you're going to start sweating whether you like it or not. Or maybe you're doing damage work, or you're considering doing damage work, so you may be setting traps in the summertime or in the spring when it starts getting warm, and I don't want my hands sweating in those gloves. So having something that's going to breathe a little bit is pretty important. But that's an outline. Like I said, you got several options. My preference is rubber, but you use whatever you feel most comfortable with.